I'm on a roll this morning, so I'm going to continue with the roll. I'm going to teach you something right now. I learned from a multi-billion-dollar venture capitalist. Well, he's made billions, and I'm going to tell you what he taught me. Okay. First of all, if you do your research on me, I wrote my doctoral dissertation on the 80-20 rule, which is also called the Pareto principle, which basically says 20% of what you do gives you 80% of your results in life. So basically, you should be spending all your time focusing on the top 20% of what basically gets you closer to God, gets you better health, maximizes your family situation, maximizes your educational situation, and maximizes your career situation. You should be focused on the top 20%, but I'm going to tell you what I learned from a venture capitalist who's made billions. Name's Oren Klaff, by the way. Oren Klaff, O-R-E-N, last name K-L-A-F-F. Look him up. Oren Klaff taught me this, and he said this to me. He said, Lou, he goes, the 80-20 rule is great. He goes, but really what you should be doing is focusing on the 96-4 rule. He goes, you take 80-20 of 80-20, and he goes, that's your answer. He goes, that's what we do. Because he said the top 4% of what you do is giving you 96% of the results, and he said everything else is helping you lose. So you better figure out what the top 4% of what you do is, because it's going to give you 96% of your results. And he goes, all that other stuff you're doing, all it's doing is helping you lose. He goes, even if you think you have to do it, he goes, at best you're getting no gain out of it. But he said ultimately when you do a bunch of things that equal no gain, it helps you lose. So you got to go all in on what matters. The top 4%. Okay, so this is what I've learned. If you take the top 4% of what you do that gets you results, basically it comes down to doing one thing. So the question I asked myself and others is, if you could only do one thing at football practice, what would it be and why? And the overwhelming answer from coaches, and I knew what the answer is you run plays. You run plays. So you just line up and run plays. Because if you don't have any time to practice, that's what you have to do. Now that's called Parkinson's Law. Wrote about that in my doctorate. Parkinson's Law is when you shorten work time to limit tasks to the important. So, the 96-4 rule means you do the top 4% of what matters, what actually gets you closer to winning. In practice, it's running plays. I asked the same question about the off season. If you could only do one lift, what would it be and why? It would be, right now I asked this question to a Division III strength conditioning coach who they win every year. And their school's in New York State. I don't want to say who it is, but he told me, he goes, we would Bulgarian split squat till our heads exploded. Okay? What's helping you get closer to winning? And gentlemen, if you do 25 different things in a day, there's one thing you're doing that's getting you closer to winning, and everything else is helping you lose. And if you're a little fortunate, you're not getting any benefit out of it at all. So you got to figure out what that one thing is that's getting you closer to God, better health, better family situation, better education, better career. Figure out what that one thing is and go all in on it. When we talk about the triple option, I've said this for years. And I really believe God spoke this over me about 5 years ago after I did a camp in Georgia. It's running plays. Because running plays cuts to the chase. And if you don't have time, that's what you're going to do at practice. You're going to run plays. Oh, what about the fundamentals? How about lining up right and knowing where to go, jackass? A lot of you coaches And I don't mean to be too mean here, but you know what? I really don't care. Because unless you're my client, I really don't care about your feelings. Sorry, not sorry. But when it comes to technique, you try to make it all about yourself. Because you want to act like Johnny Big Balls. Because the more you talk, the more important you feel. Generation Z doesn't care what you have to say. They want to know, where do I line up? Where do I go? Give me 1 to 3 things about my job. Now shut up and let me do it. Andy Reid said that. Andy Reid said Generation Z does not care about you talking. Where do I line up? Where do I go? Give me 1 to 3 pointers. Shut up. Let me do my job. So that's that. Now you've noticed on this site, I've made a lot of videos about zone dive. Well, when Air Force, who is the standard now, and I know I've proven they are now the new standard. Paul Johnson, you gotta remember, I'm the biggest fan, but I'm also here to help people win games. Really, I'm here to get clients and then help them win games. So basically, Paul Johnson was the standard forever. He's been out for 5 years, he ain't coming back. He's gonna smoke his cigars in North Carolina, travel, play golf, watch his daughter do the opera. He's done, he's out. We love him for his contributions. It's all about Air Force now. It's all about Lobo, Troy Calhoun, Coach Thiessen, all the boys there. They're the standard. They just won 76% of their games. And they ran zone dive 19 times a game. And in the games they won this year, they ran zone dive 21 times a game. So that's why there's so many videos on zone dive. You better get good at it. You better get good at creating a 6-man wedge. You better get good at running your B-back. You better get good at it. So you go in on that one thing. One thing is zone dive. Get good at it. Because I'm telling you now, it's going to pay dividends in 2023. Now, if you want to run it right, and run the constraints right, and know how to do this all right, and win more games, and you're a man of action, and not a guy that's going to do Twitter chat and message board chat, and hang out and talk like you're some freaking woman, and take your testicles, pick up the phone, give me a call. Triple Option Football Academy, Triple Option Football Academy camps. We'll get this done the right way the first time. I've been doing this for 14 years as a business. I've helped so many people win state championships, get to the state championship game, and have drastic 3-month turnarounds. It's not an accident. Never an accident, because we take action. And I tell you the answers. I do not ever plan to be politically correct in my life. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. There's other people out there, they're going to tell you what you want to hear because they can't handle the truth. I'm looking for people who want to take action, not guys that want to just talk ball on Twitter and, oh, how do you run triple to 3 technique? You can go pound sand. Give me the guy that wants to do it the right way the first time, right freaking now. Pick up the phone, call me. See you in the next video.